A very good day to you out there, and so glad to have you in this episode of the Economy and Inside Agric program, your enlightenment program, which aims to increasing our understanding of how to stimulate the petroleum and energy resource engineering for an enhanced growth and development of the nation. I am Imejo, your host. Advancing technology innovation has become imperative across sectors of the economy in order to boost revenue generation, job and wealth creation, and strengthening the general welfare of citizens. In Nigeria, both the government, organizations, institutions, and individuals are striving hard to ensuring meaningful realization of these objectives. Institutionally, embracing technology in petroleum and energy resources engineering across African and Nigerian universities presents numerous benefits, including, among others, adequate learning experience, necessary skills, improved teaching methodologies, increased access to resources, and a more efficient administrative environment, as well as efficient research feats. Relevant skills and knowledge of petroleum and energy resources engineering also helps prepare industry players and students for the demands of the global workforce and fostering the needed partnership. Although there are challenges surrounding the accessibility to technological innovation in petroleum and energy resource engineering across the region over the years, it has become necessary to step up in research development if growth and development is in view. And so today on our program, our discussion will be centered on the measures to take in the utilization of our mineral resources through technology innovation for the good of all citizens. My guest is Professor Eli Jidere Bala, the head of Department Petroleum and Energy Resources Engineering Department of the African University of Science and Technology here in Abuja, and he will be joining me immediately after the promo to discuss the topic that we caption Technology Innovation as Key to National Growth, the Petroleum and Energy Resources Engineering Initiative. We'll be back shortly.
We are a nation blessed with people of diverse cultures, religions, languages, and opinions. It is ironic that we are now being ripped apart by our greatest strength, our diversity. We have allowed intolerance, insensitivity, bigotry, and nepotism to blind our vision of the greatness we can achieve working together as one. We may not have the same culture, nor religion, nor language, but we all belong to the same nation by the divine will of God. We did not choose to be Nigerians. Nigeria chose us. This nation is our divine heritage, and if we open our eyes, we would realize that what divides us pales in comparison to what unites us. And by the comparison and conciliation of our differences, we will grow until our differences disappear. Our unity cannot be willed by mere declarations, nor do we get unity by ignoring the questions that beg for answers. We must celebrate our diversity and debate our differences without fracturing our unity. Our strength is not in our numbers, but in our unity, because even the weak become strong when united. Nigeria unite.
This message is brought to you by Abuja Broadcasting Corporation, owners and operators of ASO Radio 93.5 FM Abuja, ASO Television DSTV Channel 392, Star Times Terrestrial Channel 127, Free TV Channel 507, People's TV Channel 285, and UHF Channel 38.
Our guest, Professor Eli Jidere-Bala, who is the head of Department of Petroleum and Energy Resources Engineering of the African University of Science and Technology, AUST, here in Abuja, is already here with me in our studio, and he'll be taking us on the topic we caption as Technology Innovation as Key to National Development and Growth. National Growth and Development, the Petroleum and Energy Resource Engineering Initiative. Prof, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Ma.
All right, sir. Science and engineering, technology and innovation have been assumed to be key to national development of any nation, including Nigeria. To what extent can you say this statement is true or otherwise?
Well, thank you. You introduced me as the head of Petroleum and Energy Resource Engineering at the AUST. I would like to, because I don't think people know what AUST is.
Okay.
Yes, I would like to say that AUST is an acronym for the African University of Science and Technology.
Yeah.
And it's located at Galadima, Abuja, FCT. It's a university that started operation in 2007, basically through postgraduate studies. And it started with petroleum postgraduate studies, petroleum engineering, mechanical engineering, material science engineering, accounting, space engineering, etc. and etc. And in 2022, because of the dynamics in the energy sector worldwide, climate change, global warming, effect of petroleum products on climate change or on global warming, emissions of carbon dioxide. So the university decided to change the name of the department from Department of Petroleum to Petroleum and Energy Resources.
Okay.
Of course, petroleum is an energy resource, but then with others. It's usually petroleum and others. Renewables energy, nuclear energy, etc. etc. So the department now concentrates on petroleum and other sustainable energy resources. Yes, your question is on science, technology, science, engineering, technology, and innovation, the relevance to national development. Of course, national development usually you say you have economic development, and then you have human development, which is usually indexed by the Human Development Index, and the economic development by the GDP. And of course, GDP is goods and services. When it is put in monetary terms, goods and services
for a period of time.
For a period of time, can be annually. Usually annually. Usually annually. Certainly, science and technology plays a lot of science and technology and innovation plays a lot of role in that. In communications, you have science, you have technology derived from science. Science is the study of the physical and natural world through observation and experiments. Of course, TV, communications evolve through science and technology. What is the transportation? Through science and technology. That's what the economy is about, transportation. You have industries. You have industries. It evolves from science and technology. Agriculture, productivity in agriculture is enhanced through science and technology. So certainly science, technology, and innovation, it's very key to national development. And innovation, of course, is something new. When you have a new product, a new idea, then it means you are opening up the market. If you are opening up the market, of course, it means more naira or more dollar will be coming if you have new products. You have new products. So the GDP will grows through innovation. Innovation leads to, setting up of new industries, startups, people are employed, and you have development. Standard of living of people improves, and therefore science, technology, and innovation is very, very critical. No nation develops without science, technology, and innovation. The greatest developed countries, US, Europe, Asia, China, Soviet Union, they all built the church because of science, technology, and innovation. Look at what is now happening between in the troubled areas in the world. Is it the Middle East? Is it in between Russia and Ukraine? Technology is what is playing the role and giving edge to other countries. I mean, on the superior countries. So we cannot play if we want to develop or want to be amongst big economies, as our politicians always is their aspiration, and of course our own aspiration that our economy should be large and keep on growing, so that our standard of living will improve. We cannot ignore science, technology, and innovation, and it's very expensive. You need to put in a lot of capital to find out new ideas, to do research, and come out with new ideas and create the market.
So
it's.
Go ahead.
So I think in summary, of course, you can't underrate the role of science, engineering, and technology in the promotion of development in any nation, and Nigeria is no exception. And I think that's why there is wisdom in those who established the African University of Science and Technology.
Can we at this point say that it is true that science and technology, or the introduction of science and technology, is also impactful, beneficial to the educational sector, given the falling nature or standard of education in most African countries? These are not just Nigeria. You agree with me that a lot of our graduates are assumed or alleged not to be fully skilled, and we have established the fact that science and technology is a factor, is key, is critical to the development of all sectors of the economy. Can we also say the same is applicable to the educational sector?
Well, in terms of falling standards, science, technology is universal. To innovate is a local thing. To innovate is a local thing, and it depends on the disposition, the environment in which the innovator finds himself. If the environment is not suitable, you discover that innovation will not. I mean, it is difficult to innovate. You innovate when there's adequate infrastructure. You are mentally fit. You are mentally set. To think in a multidimensional form, to evolve new ideas, evolve new products. And so, I mean, in the Nigerian situation, I think in the Nigerian situation, the products are competitive. Nigerian educational products are competitive. Graduates are competitive. Because if they go outside, they excel. They go outside, they excel. It means it's the environment. It is the environment. It is the environment that actually influences innovation. You find the best doctors are in Europe. Best doctors are Nigerians in Europe and in America. The best space engineers in all sorts of fields. So I think it's our environment. So it goes beyond science, technology, and because science and technology, we have to bring in the social aspect of it. Social, that's what education should be embracing. So education should be embracing, and now I think it's good that NUC has in its reforms in the educational sector. Whether you are studying, if you are studying engineering or medicine or whatever it is in the science and technology area, you must take social sciences courses, because science cannot evolve in isolation. You must understand your environment, and and culture and all sorts of things around you. So I think it's our environment that we need to improve on. And the environment includes financing.
Okay.
Financing science, technology in our educational sector, financing either through private or through public, or a combination of both. So I think environment is very, very, very important.
Okay, now we are in the Nigerian environment, and you have said that to innovate is a local thing, and the environment plays a very critical role. Now, personally speaking, as a professor in the subsector, that is the petroleum and energy resource engineering subsector, what are you and your colleagues in the profession, and particularly at the AUST, doing to ensuring impact and relevance of petroleum and energy resource engineering on African economy in general and Nigeria?
Well, generally, through science, energy evolves from science and technology. And if you look at all countries all over the world, and including us here, you discover that there is a direct relationship between the economy of a nation and the amount of energy it consumes. The amount of energy the country consumes impacts directly on the productivity and therefore the gross domestic product. Secondly, also the amount of energy consumed also impacts on the Human Development Index. There is that direct relationship. Okay. Countries that consume a lot of energy have high development index, because it means the educational systems are functioning well because of energy supply. They can teach, like students can read day and night at the time convenient to them, study. Equipments are functional, and the labs don't lack power. You can store chemicals for over a long time, do your experiments at the time convenient. Your air conditioners are working because there is power. Your mental state is stable, it's calm and stable. So it's easier to evolve innovations. And so what we are doing really is, for instance, the production of power. You can't produce power without the human capacity. That's first and foremost. Yeah. The equipment must be there. You must have people that operate, that install, operate, and maintain them. Yeah. The same thing with the oil and gas industry. Oil is underground. Petroleum is underground. Petroleum refers to crude oil and natural gas. Yeah. Both of them are underground, subsurface, and therefore you must find where it is. You need science and technology to know where it is. It's known as exploration, oil exploration. Now, if you know where it is, you have to bring it out. To bring it out, you need to produce it. Then to production, you have to transport it. All this involves science and technology, and they are handled by human beings. Those who know it, we must produce people who know these processes. And so what we are doing at the AUST is to produce, and indeed all universities, to produce the human capital to manage our energy sector, that is oil and gas and other areas. Secondly, as you operate a system, you have challenges. To operate a system, you have challenges. If you have challenges, you must find a way out. And therefore, research and development is very essential in removing those challenges. If those challenges are found, the universities, and in particular African University of Science and Technology, is involved in resolving some of these challenges through R&D arms in the Department of Petroleum and Energy Resources and other sister departments like Material Science, Mechanical Engineering, etc. and etc. Okay.
Now that if these mineral resources, that's petroleum and energy and the rest of them, if we must enjoy them, first of all, we have to locate them, we have to produce them and manage the petroleum and energy resources that we have in the country. Now, do you think that since the inception of the AUST as an institution has been able to promote to promote all the processes around it so far?
Yeah, of course. You can't have say, a master's in a master of science in petroleum engineering without going through all these processes of production, reservoir engineering, drilling, production, of course refining as well, and transportation. So we've been able to, just like I said, we've been able to produce quite a number of postgraduate students who have been very active in the industry now, very active in the industry. And one of our advantages is that our graduates have gone into the fields and are giving us a feedback, and of course supporting us to in further training of our students. We've worked severally in. You are aware of oil pollution in the Niger Delta, how it destroys the environment, destroys the soil, destroys the water. We've done a lot of work on nano remediation of oil spillage, soil that have been affected through oil spillage, and we've had positive results using the nanotechnology that was evolved. It's a PhD program. We've also been working on how to beneficiate some of the minerals like bentonites and barytes in Zamfara and Nasarawa State, in collaboration in collaboration with Total Energy, Petroleum Engineering Department, and the Department of Minerals Engineering.
But there's this allegation, or a report, allegedly reported that most of Nigerians graduates are not skilled enough to withstand competition in the global world. How true is that?
Well, it's not. I have many Nigerian students like who are top in the industry.
Okay.
And they have worked all over internationally. Was working with Shell, worked all over, and so you can't say that they are not skilled. Yes, the university provides you with rudimentary knowledge, and when you go outside, you apply the knowledge to build up skills. I think we're in a hurry. We want the university graduate to be skilled. Immediately he graduates. Yeah, he should know basic things that make up the skills. Then as he works in the fields, experience, he now acquires the skills. It's not easy to be in the four walls of the university for 3 or 5 years and then think you will acquire the whole skills in petroleum exploration, production, and all sorts of processes, marketing, and etc. You need years of experience in the field. In your work as a journalist, of course, when you graduate, also you have the same challenge, not only in the petroleum or energy industry. Yes, in the energy industry. Yes, there are some basic skills that perhaps we need to be introduced, and they are being introduced. And I think at AUST we are filling that gap by not only having lecturers directly from the universities, but also from the fields. Okay. Particularly in the field of petroleum engineering, we have quite a number who are from the field, who come spend 3 months or so, or from outside the country, that come, very experienced petroleum engineers who come to interact with our students. Okay. And that deficiency also is filled with the program in the universities known as SAWIS, industrial attachment in the field, for about 6 months or so. They go and spend
practical experience.
Yes, to gain practical experience, to see how the theory in the classrooms are aligned with the practice in the field. But really, skill acquisition can be a training on its own. Can be a training on its own. And you can't impact skills really fully. You must practice to acquire skills.
Must be an on-the-job learning.
On-the-job learning.
Okay. All right. There's this face-off between engineers and government and the neglect of engineers generally when it comes to award of contracts and a substandardization in terms of delivery, leaving a trust deficit on most engineers across the country. You have explained to an extent that you need to make out an experience from a job, or you need to be on the job to improve your skills. But this may also have been linked to low quality of our higher institutions of learning, like the universities and even some polytechnics. As the head of Petroleum and Energy Resource Energy Department of AUST, what are you as an institution doing different to bridge this gap?
Well, I did mention earlier on liaising with the industry, and there's those in the industry coming to support us from within to impact some of the practical happenings in the industry, and I think this is in line with the national policy of science and technology, known as the triple helix policy, or triple helix model, where the academia, the universities, the industry and government come together to ensure that that R&D is relevant to the economy. Because the economy is driven by those in the industry and in government. The challenges there are solved by the academia. So we need that interaction. We need that interaction, and it's a paramount. I think it's a very major aspect of the national policy of science, technology, and innovation in this country.
And now you have let me allow you finish.
Yeah, and I think that model is being applied in the universities, and I know this month African University of Science and Technology is organizing a conference on the triple helix model, where people from government, industry, and the academia will come and interact in various aspects, not only on engineering or on energy, but in all aspects of the economy. So there will discussions will pave way forward for us.
And after this conference, what should be the expectation of an ordinary Nigerian in the area of science and technology using the model?
Well, the expectation is, of course, ordinary Nigerians. What do you want? What
do we want?
What do we want? We want better standard of living.
Of course.
One better standard of living.
Yes.
We expect there will be electricity 24/7.
Yeah.
We expect to go to hospitals. You assess healthcare.
Yeah.
Doctors will be there.
Yeah.
Pharmacists will be there, and then our health will be improved. Education will be available to almost everybody. So these are the expectations, and that interaction is expected to chart a way forward in achieving all this. Particularly at the end of the day, we should have improved standard of living of ordinary citizens in this country.
Okay, what can you say about the face-off between engineers generally and the government? The government is saying that engineers, the sub-standardization of or the quality of work taken by engineers are not meeting up the global practice, while the engineers are also accusing the government of inability to grant them a contract. What are you doing to bridge this gap?
I've told you that the quality of the graduates, you can't say it's unsatisfactory. The quality of Nigerian graduates, either in engineering, in science, in medicine, I think it's up to standard.
Okay.
The industry now is operated by Nigerians.
Yeah.
The oil and gas is operated by Nigerians.
Yeah.
The electricity sector is operated by Nigerians. I don't agree with you that there is a conflict between government and engineers.
A report had it.
I don't think there is conflict, because engineers are among those supporting the government in implementing its policies. The Federal Ministry of Works, in the universities, in the transportation sector, in all aspects, telecommunications. The engineers are there supporting government in implementing its own policies. I don't think there is quarrel when it comes to the issue of it's a contract.
Yeah, contract award.
These are human errors. These are human deficiencies. The policy is there. For instance, you have the Executive Order 5 of 2018 that encourages projects to be executed by Nigerians, contracts to be involving Nigerians, all contracts in science, technology, and innovation. This will involve Nigerian. This should be Nigerian-based first. Priority should be given to Nigeria, unless we don't have that. In the oil and gas sector too, we've had since 2010. Since 2010, the Nigerian content, Nigerian Content Law Act, we call it Nigerian Content Act, that encourages the participation of Nigerian in the operations of the oil and gas. So I don't think the government is encouraging the local Nigerian participation in the economy, and it's not a quarrel as such. I think it's individual. These are individual differences. I'll tell you that most of the, or a lot of the majority of the procurement officers are engineers, are likely to be engineers. The procurement officers. So I mean, if they are engineers, there will be no conflict. It's implementing government policy, but it's individual differences, individual interests that perhaps comes into play, and Nigerian engineers seems to be sidelined. But it's not a government policy. Okay. It's not a government policy.
All right.
I don't think it's a government policy.
All right. Now to the realities on ground. You and I we are aware that there are issues around the petroleum industry in Nigeria. Now, if we have established that the oil and gas subsector is doing very, very, very well, then as an oil producing nation, but still the citizenry are faced with fuel hikes now and then, what do you think is responsible for this, and how do you think this to be addressed? Now, even recently, yesterday somebody called me and said, there are queues everywhere, there are queues. I don't know, I didn't see one, whether it was a panic one or so, but we cannot run from the fact that there are issues in the petroleum or oil and gas subsector in Nigeria. What do you think is responsible for this?
Well, the issues, I think, if there are issues, is in the implementation, perhaps, of the Petroleum Industry. Petroleum Industry Act. Perhaps it's in the implementation of the Petroleum Industry Act, because I think the Petroleum Industry Act that brought all laws and the oil and gas under one umbrella. It was apt, and is to improve the performance of the oil and gas, make it very competitive internationally, to be operated like a business. Operated like a business, unlike before, where you have government influences. I wouldn't say that there are no government influences now. There are, but ultimately that is the goal. They would believe that the private sector-run industry is better managed. Now, the issue of pricing is it's a matter of economics. It's a matter of economics. You can't produce a product and then come and sell it at a loss. Yes, it's not principles of investment. You invest so that you make a profit. However, if the price is high, and a government now comes in, if you want your citizens to have lower price, so that
more patronage.
Yes. Now it becomes a political decision. You can use the word subsidy. You can subsidize if you so wish, so that the end product your citizens buy at a lower price. But the person producing will not lose. He won't lose. Otherwise, if he loses, certainly he will stop production.
Definitely.
He stop production. And the cues you might taking up perhaps is because of the recent happening.
Yeah.
The hiccup we had between one of the oil and gas unions and a private industry in the oil and gas sector.
Yeah.
I think it's temporary. This one is temporary. If there is a queue, I think it's going to be temporary. But pricing is certainly pricing is a market-based thing. You produce, you do your costings, put your margins, so that you sustain your production. Now, if people feel it's too high, now it's left to government to come in. And this government says okay. This government says okay. Subsidy is gone, and so if subsidy is gone, so we have to pay the price that the producer will make profit to keep him in business. To keep him in business. I think that's that about the price. Before subsidy is gone, that we were buying at lower prices. But who was paying for that? It was government. But government said she cannot afford to keep on paying those subsidies. Keep on paying those subsidies. So we, the consumers, will have to pay the price and sustain the supply.
Okay, recall that in the past, say around the 80s, early 80s to late 80s, some Nigerian universities used to record a lot of foreign students from other countries of the world that come to Nigeria to study in our universities. But presently, it seems that the narrative is changed, where most parents would prefer to take their children to schools abroad to study courses that you have mentioned, engineering and the rest, technology, engineering and the rest around the discipline. As a Pan-African university, what plans do you have to attract more foreign students in the... Do you even have foreign students in the school?
Yeah, we have foreign students. We have foreign students. I have students from other African countries, and many did graduate, particularly from petroleum and from petroleum department, petroleum engineering department. I know Ghana, other places, Cameroon, Kenya, Tanzania. I think we've had many. We had quite a number, but I think it's because of the. It's a phenomenon. It's the environment. The environment has changed.
Okay.
I think the environment has changed. What I mean, the environment, that is the economy of within the country had changed, and so people are even just like you said, some parents take their students to Ghana, some take them to Europe, but with the difficulty in acquiring equipment in this country, standard infrastructure within the university systems, I think, has eventually declined, and I think the stakeholders within the university systems are working very hard. I think recently you have the Academic Staff Union and the federal government sitting down to iron out some of the challenges.
On the round table.
Yes, on the round table. But the private universities, I think, are also working very hard to raise funds in order to improve on their infrastructure. Okay. At the African University of Science and Technology, we are very lucky. We've had very excellent equipment because of our collaboration with the industry. We collaborated with Total Energies. They equipped our Total Energies and the African Development Bank. They equipped our reservoir engineering laboratory, our drilling engineering. That's petroleum production. Right. That is the drilling and reservoir engineering labs. Okay. So if you know your challenge, you work towards solving it.
All right. Because of our time, we'll go over some questions. We just have to leave some questions. Maybe next time when we're here, we'll explain to the public or to our audience better. But let me take this last question. It's about the need to enhance our reforms. You know, the need for holistic reforms in the petroleum industry, ease of doing business, and encouragement of local content in the industry has bettered the petroleum industry for some time now, and this has become imperative in Nigeria's clamor for industrial growth. From your own point of view, what steps should be taken in the short or long run to make this realizable as we round off?
Yeah, with local content, you mean?
Yeah.
I think the local content is making a road in the oil and gas industry, because there are a lot of Nigerian participation in the industry, but upstream, upstream. Of course, downstream is run by Nigeria. You have many companies now taking up the marginal fields and operating them. I think last week or this week, the president went and opened up, commissioned an export facility, and I think it's owned by a Nigerian. It's owned by that export facility is owned by a Nigerian. It's reported that is the first in the past 50 years. So I think a lot of Nigerians are going into upstream and the downstream sector of the oil and gas industry, and that has been encouraged. There's an act, the Nigerian Content Development. There's a Nigerian Content Development Board, you know, that promotes Nigerian content in the oil and gas industry.
Okay, there is this clamor by many parents across states of the Federation here in Nigeria on accreditation of more engineering courses to avoid the high cost of sending their children abroad to go and study such courses. Any plans to get more courses accredited in the near future by your university?
Yeah, I told you we started the undergraduate at the African University of Science and Tech. We started the undergraduate program in petroleum and energy resources in 2022.
Yeah.
That's our first graduates were admitted in 2022-2023 academic year. So we are going to have the first graduates this academic year, 2025-2026. And the NUC is generally coming to the university for reaccreditation of these programs, sometimes as from October and November. So they are coming, and hopefully, I think with what we have on ground and the preparations we have, African University of Science and Tech will have most of their programs accredited. We have petroleum and energy resources, mechanical engineering, material science, and computer science, data science, all sorts of programs.
And so how friendly is your fees?
Yeah, I think the fees is reasonable. I think one of the lowest amongst the private sector in privately owned universities in Nigeria.
All right.
And with the best facilities, particularly in engineering.
That's your opinion.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, with that we have come to the end of today's program, and we have been speaking with Professor Eli Chidere Bala, the head of Department Petroleum and Energy Resources Engineering Department of the African University of Science and Technology, AUST, here in Abuja. Prof, we want to thank you for honoring our invitation to be on today's edition of the program.
Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome.
All right. And also to our esteemed audience out there, we sincerely appreciate your time with us. Join us again next time, God willing, for another interesting episode of your enlightenment program. I am Ile. Just saying good day.